Is it true that there's a connection between like your brain and your mechanics that often result in injury? There was a sleep doctor telling me that when you're underslept, one of the reasons why you get so many injuries is because when you do like jump, your brain and your...
The reaction time is slow. Yeah.
And you see a lot of athletes doing this before games because they're almost like practicing landing.
But that's actually a little bit of deceleration. What that is basically a stick and land. So they're jumping and they're holding it so that the forces are not dumped into the joints, but rather absorbed into the connective tissue, so the ligaments and the tendons.
And why is deceleration? Why is it important, even for everybody, even non-athletes, to do that?
Well, if you are not an athlete and you're just somebody who doesn't want to fall and break a hip, if you don't want to fall and trip, I think that it's important. If you're thinking about falling, what you need to be able to do is get the hip flexor up in front of you, right? And then stop the fall. So we have the hip flexor muscle that has to come up quickly in order to get ahead of the fall. We have the tibialis anterior, which is just this muscle in the front of the tibia, involved in what's called dorsiflexion, which is just nerd speak for toes come up. You need to be able to clear the floor, and then you need to have glutes to sort of absorb and break.
People they get a little bit older, and you watch them fall on like videos. It looks a little bit slow. It's kind of like a...
Yeah.
Is that what that is? The sort of, you feel yourself going, but you don't have the muscles and the reaction to throw something out.
Yeah, if you ever want to cry, look up some of those videos because they have slowed down the frame rate when someone's falling, an elderly person falling, and there's literally no reaction. Like there's nothing cognitively, there's no connection to the body. They're just literally subject to the forces that are being placed on them.
Is there something that you can do at, say, 33 or in your 40s to stop that being the case when you are 60, 70?
Learning how to fall. So that's the hip flexor that we were talking about. That's the dorsiflexion of the foot, so that tibialis anterior. And then we were talking a little bit about the hourglass figure before when we were talking about the adductors or the inner thigh muscles. One of the things that the inner thigh muscles will do is they'll actually pull the leg back underneath you, right? So they'll also help to stabilize that fall. And the adductors, or the outside muscle group, like the side of the glutes, they're also gonna help break. When you're falling, it's like you gotta get the leg up, you gotta have the toe clear, the floor, and then if you're falling off to the side, you need the adductors and the abductors to be able to stabilize so that you don't trip over it.